The last one is kind of trivial, but I didn't know the answer to it because I don't work in the medical field, so I wanted to hear Erin's take on it.
This is not my professional advice, and this is not me telling you what to do.
Am I the asshole for showing up to a virtual doctor's appointment shirtless? I, 38 male, don't have a family doctor because roughly a quarter of the population where I am is in the same boat. The government has contracted a company that takes virtual appointments for people that don't have their own physician. You don't know who you're going to get. You just sign up at the start of the day, wait until a physician becomes available, and you get a virtual appointment. I've been at home all day tending to my 1-year-old son while my wife is at work for the day. I signed up for an appointment in the morning, and you never know how long the wait will be, but it's often a few hours. It's also extremely hot today. It's almost 30 degrees, so I've got fans on everywhere and have my shirt off. 30 degrees, what is that in Fahrenheit?
I think 40's around 100.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means for 30.
86.
Oh, well, it's not that
That's
hot.
not that hot.
But if they're in, like, Canada, it probably is.
True. Okay, so I've got fans on everywhere and I have my shirt off. My wife surprised me by coming home for lunch, something she rarely does. I was excited, but as luck would have it, just a couple minutes after she showed up, the doctor was in and the video called me. I answered without thinking about it, and my wife immediately said in an annoyed voice to me that I don't have a shirt on. I kind of just shrugged. I mean, it's a doctor. Surely they wouldn't care, right? Well, I guess this one did because she mentioned it to me right away. I was holding the baby, so I passed him off to my wife and grabbed a shirt and came back to the appointment. I thought it was no big deal, but afterward, my wife said she was embarrassed and what I did was extremely inappropriate and sexual harassment. Bear in mind that the camera only caught from my shoulders up. I said I'm pretty sure you can't sexually harass someone with your shoulders, and it's also blazing hot out. There are tons of people walking around with their shirts off. Her opinion was that I wouldn't go into a proper doctor's office without a shirt, so I shouldn't be on camera with a doctor without a shirt, and that it didn't matter that she was a doctor because she didn't consent to seeing me shirtless. We had a big argument about it before she went back to work. In my eyes, it's simply a difference of opinion about what's appropriate, but she insists that it's much more serious. Am I the asshole?
Oh, I don't think you're an asshole. Like, I think that it was an innocent mistake. I mean, your wife's right. You would not go to the doctor's office. It would be so weird. And, like, maybe it's a little bit disrespectful to, like, not be, you know, dressed well for an appointment with another professional. But, like, it sounds like this is not something that this man's is used to. It sounds like he's literally in the middle of nowhere. And, like, you're taking care of your baby. Like, you would be surprised how many, like, moms come in, like, disheveled with, like, newborn puke on them. And they're, like, feeding the baby and, like, the baby's screaming and, like, the 2-year-old's pooping on them. And it's, like, people, you know, can be disheveled when they're taking care of their kids. And, like, if this man's wasn't wearing a shirt in his own house because he's taking care of his baby, like, I don't think he's being disrespectful. Like, he made an honest mistake. I feel like he made an honest mistake. I think that maybe if the doctor was like, can you please put a shirt on? She either was like, haha, this is funny, put a shirt on though, let's be professional, or she was uncomfortable and she asked you to put a shirt on and she's probably already over it. Either way. Like, either way, she's already over it.
It didn't even say she asked him to. It just said she mentioned it. Like, she could have just been like, oh, you're shirtless, it must be hot. Like, she just mentioned it. Right. She didn't even ask.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it probably wasn't that serious. She's literally over it already.
Okay, maybe I'm, like, wrong. I wouldn't do this. Also because it's less common for women to be walking around without shirts than it is for men. But I feel like that's not that weird. Like, no, people go to the doctor and they get undressed anyway.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, like, I feel like the only reason that people don't go pre-undressed, I'll say, is because in public there's an expectation that you're going to have a shirt on. Yeah. But in the privacy of your own home, that does not apply. So why would it be weird to see a physician without a shirt on?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's weird. I think if anything, like I said, just like the professionalism aspect of it, like it's how you present yourself. You're meeting a new professional and you're showing up shirtless, like put a shirt on. Would I think anything of it if I logged on as the medical professional and they were not wearing a shirt and they were like, hey, you're here to like talk about like my skin, whatever? I would literally not think twice about it.
I know.
But if your wife thought twice about it and the doctor thought twice about it, do I think you're an asshole? No, I think you made an honest mistake.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it's weird, a little bit weird that they both mentioned it though. Unless the doctor just made a comment about like, oh, it must be really hot there.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is lighthearted. Like, I feel like a lot of people make comments like that regardless of what you're wearing. It could have been a tank top and she could have made the same comment.
Yeah.
We don't know what she said. But as a doctor, I'm like, would you even notice that? Like, would most doctors even notice that? Especially if it was his shoulders up. Like, what if he was wearing a tube top? What if it was a woman wearing a tube top? Or a man, but whatever. I'm just saying, like, a woman wearing a tube top, you only saw her shoulders. Would a doctor be like, "Oh, you're not wearing a shirt, are you?"
Yeah, I don't know. I think to the wife's point, if she's like, yeah, that's sexual harassment, but like, I think maybe if you were like, "Oh, I don't want to wear a shirt to my appointment so I can flex on her," like,
that's different.
That's totally
that's
different.
Embarrassing.
That's humiliating. Okay. But I think if your kid is like spitting up and you're like running around taking care of them, and thank God your wife's there to hand the baby off to and toss you a shirt, you forgot to put a shirt on. End of discussion.
Yeah. I guess I just don't think that it's that weird, because the last time that I had a telehealth video call with a doctor, it was with a dermatologist, and I was going to have to show them my skin.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, but I guess not every doctor needs that. But I'm just thinking from my most recent experience with
and
that.
And that's the only experience I can give, really.
Yeah.
I'm like, see patients all day.
Yeah,
where
that's
I have to
how
look at
you do
their
a skin check anyway. So it's like, why not just save her a little bit of time? Now you don't even have to leave.
Right. Just come on in your underwear and a hospital gown in your purse, and we're ready to go.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Please wear your clothes to your doctor's appointments. And if you accidentally forget a shirt on telehealth, I personally won't be mad at you, but I might call you out on it. Just kidding. I won't. I'll think you made an honest mistake.
If I ever become a doctor and we're on telehealth, you can show me your bare shoulders.
Please don't show me your bare shoulders. I just would prefer for you to wear a shirt, but I understand if you forget.
I won't judge you for going
I certainly won't
bare.
judge you, especially if you log on with a child in your hands and you're like, don't have your t-shirt on. I used to nanny. Like, I've been spit up on many a time and had to go shirtless in someone else's house or like put on someone else's clothing.
Am I the asshole for taking my shirt off in the house that I nanny for? You know someone's written this.
Background.
The baby spit up on me, so I took off my shirt. I was walking around in a bra. The parents weren't home. I washed my shirt and I put the shirt back on. Am I the asshole? It's like, okay, if you wanted to tell a story on Reddit, just tell a story.
Just tell a story.
Okay, we don't need the
Tell
whole...
us you wanted to write a story without
You know
having
what
a
we're
good
going to say,
story.
okay? You know you're not an asshole.
Yeah.
Case closed. Anyway.
I didn't write that.
No, I know. It just reminded me of like some of the dramatic titles you read.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, what could they possibly have done? Like walking around nude in front of another family? And then it's like the stakes are so low that you're like, you just wasted my time.
Yeah.
This is a clickbait title and I'm over it.
Yeah. And it's
exactly what the title of this podcast is.
I also didn't do it until like the baby was down for the nap and I could like sneak in, rinse the shirt off myself and put it back on.
Yeah. Am I the asshole for getting changed in someone else's bathroom?
Right, literally.
When I work there.
Yeah.